Great offensive linemen, great safeties, great corners, great receivers. Here's the thing about the media. The media hates the term fake news, right? They don't like that. It invalidates the media. But there is a bias and agenda, and I see it a lot in the media, and that's why when Trump says fake news, it kind of sticks. Because I read the media, and I see it all the time. I'm like, that's agenda. That's bias. That's not facts. So I always give credit when a local reporter can come out and take on an icon because he's going to get stares, he's going to get death threats and hate mail. Mark Madden's a very talented Pittsburgh radio host and a writer in Pittsburgh. He came out today, and they have a column, it's time to consider firing Mike Tomlin. And for the record, it is. Okay? This is a totally fair column. Mike McCarthy just had a bad 8-game stretch. He got run out mid-season. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy rejuvenated Brett Favre's career. Brett Favre was done. He handled the Favre-Aaron Rodgers mess. Like, I got nothing against Mike Tomlin. But Mark Madden lays it out. He says, in the last 11 years, when the Steelers are favored by 9 or more, they're 6-5 straight up. The rest of the league's 52-10. That defines who they are. They play down to the competition. Their special teams now are the worst in the league. That's about coaching. That's why New England always has great special teams. Pittsburgh's now are the league's most penalized. By the way, they lost to a Raiders team Sunday that didn't even play well. Raiders had 13 penalties, 130-yard penalties. And oh, by the way, what really got Madden furious is the way they handled the Big Ben situation. He was ready to play in the second half, and they wouldn't put him in. Tomlin said, I kept Josh Dobbs in because of the flow of the game. Mark Madden said, what does that mean? In the 4 possessions without Big Ben, who was ready to play, punt, turned over on downs, interception, punt. What flow? There was no flow. The media, because Mike, and this is why I think the media does this with Tomlin. He's blunt. He's brutally frank. He's bizarrely candid. He's wildly animated. There's a Mike Ditka quality to him. He's a great quote. He's great at the podium. You can't take your eyes off him. He's a great media coach. Mike McCarthy is grumpy, and Tom Coughlin was grumpy, and Tom Coughlin, people wanted to write him out of New York, and he'd won 2 Super Bowls. Tom Coughlin was under heat for 5 straight years after winning Super Bowls. McCarthy gets ridden out of town. Tomlin's likable, and he's animated, and he's frank, and he's a great quote, and he's great at the podium. But this is why isn't Tomlin under the same microscope as Mike McCarthy? Is it fair to say this? The longer Tomlin has been the Steelers coach, is it fair for me to say they now underachieve more than achieve? I'm not even asking for overachieve. Just achieve to the level you should with a Hall of Fame quarterback. Now, by the way, I'm tougher on coaches if you have 2 things. If you have a Hall of Fame quarterback and ownership stability, I'm going to be tougher on you. That's why I'm tough on Pete Carroll. That's why I'm tough on Mike Tomlin. It's why I always defend Marvin Lewis. Bad quarterback and cheap ownership. If you have Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben, Brady, Breeze, Phillip Rivers, and then you also have with that great ownership, oh, I'm going to ride you. I'm going to hold you to a higher standard. Ohio State football should win 11 games a year. Kansas State should win about 4. There's different standards. Alabama is all in. They should win 11 a year, every year regardless of coach. Kentucky football should win about 5. So all I'm saying, Green Bay doesn't have Pittsburgh's talent, and McCarthy got ridden out midseason. Tomlin and the Steelers in 2018 are doing once again what they've been doing for years, unraveling, not buttoned up, and underachieving with this roster. Terry Bradshaw came out, said something about a year and a half ago, got major heat for it, and what he said I thought was accurate. I've had several sources through the years say the same thing, and the media attacked him for saying, I don't know, Terry sort of knows football this.
He's really a great cheerleader guy. I don't know what he does, but I don't think that he's a great coach at all. His name never even pops in my mind when we think about great coaches in the NFL.
I'm not saying you have to fire him, but boy, there's a reason fake news sticks. I mean, McCarthy's ridden out of town, grumpy Mike McCarthy, lousy quote Mike McCarthy, takes a bullet for the franchise with Aaron Rodgers, who's got a lot of drama. Yeah, I know Big Ben's got a lot of drama. But McCarthy was ridden out of town. I think this column is fair. Not saying it's right, but I do think it's fair, and it's something we've been on for a couple years. It's why I defend Marvin Lewis. When you get a Big Ben and you get that ownership, does anybody draft better than the Pittsburgh Steelers? Does anybody in the league consistently draft as well as the Steelers? God, when's the last time they whiffed on a wide receiver or a back? God, it's just like they're always great. O-lines are almost always good. Receivers are always loaded. They've always got a star back. They've always got an edge rusher. I mean, it's like they've always got good linebackers. Ryan Shazier career ends. I got two other guys. I mean, they always got talent. Just think the column's fair. The question is fair. Doesn't make it right, but I think it's fair. If it's fair for McCarthy, it's fair for Tomlin. Just because he's funnier, better at a podium, incredibly animated, that part, he's the best in the league by far. By far. Most coaches are the pits. He's like, he's a combination of, he's like an actor. And like if you hired a football coach to be good at the podium, you just hire Mike Tomlin. Say, like, just do like he does. Mike Tomlin should go into acting when he leaves coaching and play a coach in every movie. Joey Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.